Thank you, Mary Pat, and thank you for your continued service as Midtown Alliance's board chair. Atlanta got its start as a railroad town. In fact, its name is derived from its position at the end of the Western and Atlantic Railroad line. Norfolk Southern's history stretches back nearly 200 years, and we've long had a large presence in Georgia. In 2018, when we made the decision to move our corporate headquarters from Virginia to Midtown Atlanta, a lot of it had to do with all that this district has to offer. I don't think any one of us would be here this afternoon if we didn't believe in the value of getting involved and working to make our cities exceptional. In 2000, Midtown's commercial property owners made a bold move to approve the creation of the Midtown Improvement District. The MID funds essential programs and public improvement projects that have shaped our district ever since. It's a model that's proven its value. It shows what's possible when the private and public sectors align around a shared vision. 25 years into this journey, the impact is undeniable. Since 2000, the Midtown Improvement District has invested more than $170 million in improvements. That, in turn, has created the conditions where the private sector has invested $20 billion in this district, a roughly 130 times return on investment. The MID's role is to ensure that its investments go where they'll be most impactful and to fully leverage local, state, and federal grant funding. In 2025, 83% of the funding for capital projects came from our government partners. As important as it's been to strategically leverage funds and make smart investments, it's bigger than that. It starts with bold thinking. The MID and Midtown Alliance boards work together to shape the vision that reflects Midtown's priorities and aligns with the city. We focus on catalytic projects that move our city forward, and then we take the next step and actually deliver them in partnership with the city of Atlanta, the state of Georgia, and our federal partners. We've all seen and experienced the results of big ideas met with decisive action. They take the form of vibrant street corridors like this one on Juniper Street, the route I walk to work every day. This project has been a long time coming, but these Juniper Street improvements are more than a road project. They create a multimodal corridor with features that serve different types of users. And it's more than a bike lane. It's a conscious decision to change the safety conditions on a street with a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, which nonetheless experienced 620 crashes in the 5 years before construction on these improvements began. Big ideas and decisive actions influenced the Peachtree Street North Bridge improvements. We saw this as more than just a bridge. It's a dynamic gateway into Midtown with soaring arches that create a sense of arrival and a protected walkway for people crossing on foot. Take Peachtree and 15th Streets, where we created a new plaza and found a permanent home for the Sabin women's sculpture created by Dorothy Burge in 1968. Today, we have more than 80 art installations in this one walkable square mile in our city. These are the type of improvements that bring urban experiences to life. Working together, we've made a lot happen in the last 25 years to build and sustain momentum. And right now, the Midtown Alliance team is engaged in the heaviest lift of capital projects that they have ever advanced. That includes a brand new street connections for motorists, cyclists, and pedestrians on 15th Street between West Peachtree and Williams Street, where none had existed before. It will act as a pressure relief valve for 14th Street. Enhancements on Spring Street at the north end of the district are substantially complete as of this month. These changes have reshaped the corridor to make it safer and more usable for a growing number of people getting around on foot, bike, and scooter. The Piedmont Avenue Complete Street project is creating a northbound bike lane to pair with Juniper Street's southbound lane, while also adding more connectivity for people walking to and from Piedmont Park. There are new options for people navigating the 10th Street Bridge, a vital east-west corridor that strengthens connections between Midtown and West Midtown for Georgia Tech students and others. And work is underway on West Peachtree to rebalance underused space and make room for new bus stop islands, make ADA upgrades, and add a protected multimodal lane. You can read more about these and many other projects on Midtown Alliance's website, which is updated on a monthly basis. There's a lot happening, but there's also a balance at the core of this work. We move with urgency to deliver what matters today while keeping a long view so that we're ready to act when the right opportunities come along. As Midtown continues to grow, the next frontier is investing in the social infrastructure that great cities depend on, especially great public spaces. That's exactly what we're doing at 98 14th Street, where the district's largest superblock is becoming Midtown's next defining move. For years, Midtown Alliance and the Midtown Improvement District have been working toward this moment. It's taken big picture thinking and disciplined stewardship, building reserves not for a rainy day, but for a sunny one. Just over a year ago, the right opportunity came along, a now or never chance to act before the next development cycle. We moved decisively, acquiring one of Midtown's largest remaining undeveloped sites and setting the stage for something truly special, a place for people forever. We negotiated the $46 million sales price and secured financing for the land purchase with our partners at South State Bank. Substantial improvements are underway now to stabilize the property and allow for public use later this summer. And in its 47-year history, this marks Midtown Alliance's first land disturbance permit. Here's a look at the progress happening now out at the site. The construction fencing is coming down and dirt is coming in. 750 dump trucks worth, to be exact. We have worked hard to gather extensive community feedback about what this space could become. What would make it a wow? Nearly 5,000 workers, residents, and visitors shared their ideas in Midtown Alliance's community survey. Respondents were excited about the possibility of having access to nature, open space, public art, a performance space, a mix of events and programming, plus seating and shade. They cited their experiences and inspiration from more than 200 locations around the globe. We brought together subject matter experts to help us think through the strategies on everything from retail to arts experiences. We've held meetings with adjacent property owners and nearby businesses to discuss the vision for the space and find win-win outcomes. We've met with civic leaders to bring them up to speed on how this project represents a generational opportunity for the city and the region. We went into the community and led activities that allowed people to put their hands on the planning work. These conversations, the data we collected, and the community dialogue helped us sharpen our vision for what this space will be. And we sought out a rock star design team to help bring that vision to life. When the request for qualifications to find that design team went out, we expected a dozen or so responses. Instead, 49 firms, local, national, and international, responded and answered the call. That level of interest says everything about this project. It's a rare opportunity to create something truly special, something that all Atlantans can take pride in. We found our ideal match with the talented team led by Field Operations, which is the firm that designed the High Line in New York City and many other city-shaping projects all over the world. Field Operations is known for blending natural ecosystems and community character to create places that people remember. And now, after a sprint that started last November, we're excited to share the design concept for what can become a premier attraction in our city and the region. Open to everyone, a public amenity to last for all time. No other community improvement district in Georgia has ever taken on an effort like this. This is new territory for all of us. And I want to thank my colleagues on the MID board and the Midtown Alliance leadership and staff for their work to get us to this point. In just a minute, you'll get a first look at the design concept. But first, let's check in on what Atlantans told us about their hopes for transforming this property from an empty space to an essential place.
So today at the Museum of Design Atlanta, we had a design lab about the new future public space at 98 14th Street. And it's a really important part of the process to hear about what the community wants to see and do in the park. So we did a big community survey where we asked people a couple of questions about what they wanted out of the space. Our open house is another opportunity for people to give input. So it's been really motivating just to see people's excitement.
I mean, it could be another kind of mini destination, and I think it'd be nice to have something that was distinctive, a place where, you know, there's an opportunity for people to just have a little bit of serendipity to kind of come together and meet kind of unplanned.
You know, what I think is really special about Midtown, and I think for this space particularly, I think, you know, having outdoor art, I think that's a draw, whether it's something that's interactive or digital. I think that that's just something that can make it very special and could be something that's not anywhere else.
Well, it's such a great location. It's near the Arts District. It's near MARTA stations. I really want it to be something 7 days a week. For me, parks are chance encounters, but I live in a high-rise building and we've got an outdoor terrace, but that's not the same as being out at ground level and people watching.
So I'm thinking about what this space can do for Atlanta. Like, there was a point where connection didn't cost. And I want to make a friend for free. And that's where I feel like parks like this are important, because it allows people to organically connect with one another.
The things that I personally would like to see there would be families, children playing, parents relaxing and reading, and perhaps some music.
I think performances and performance art of any kind, beaches, open mic nights, bands.
Midtown Alliance has also been great at having things, but some of those events could be in the new park, and I'm looking forward to that.
Having more local parks is really important to serving the city, and it can bring in people who live in Atlanta, live in the wider region.
You could kind of think about it almost like a star, that kind of radiates out from that center.
I love the design lab and how it is structured and collaborative for people from all over the city that work, visit, to be able to put ideas into the space.
This public space is definitely Midtown's next big great idea, and I'm really excited to be on a team that gets to work on this once-in-a-generation kind of project. We're going to have many more other opportunities for people to give their input, especially when it comes to different activities and programs.
And this will be something which is really special.
I'm so pleased to see that you folks are doing something about this, and we can have a future for that place.
I think the city can have a sense of play and community, and a park is a great place to bring that together.
Thank you to the more than 5,000 members of this community who have lent their voices to this project so far. All right, so who's ready for a glimpse into Midtown's future? Yeah.